Is Rapture and True Pentecost on June 12 in 2022? I have to admit that the last week has got me scratching my head. Not because the rapture didn't happen at Pentecost, but because it brought to the forefront of my mind a conflict between different calendars about when Pentecost really falls in 2022. I have referred to Rich Lobard's Truth of Yahweh calendar in the past, as his calendar on the Truth of Yahweh website brought my attention to a different way of determining when the first month of the year begins, based on the first new moon after the spring equinox, but I am also aware that he calculates Shavuot differently than the modern Hebrew calendar, causing Shavuot to fall on June 12 instead of June 5 in 2022. I can see the reason why Shavuos is delayed a week on the Truth of Yahweh calendar, because the 7-week count happens after the week-long Feast of Unleavened Bread, whereas usually the count begins on the first day of that feast, and it seems to me the difference comes because of the placement of the day-long Feast of First Fruits being placed on the day after the Feast of Unleavened Bread, rather than at the beginning of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. This actually makes a lot of sense to me, because it separates the two feasts of first fruits and unleavened bread rather than having them at the same time, which makes no sense. So the real question is why the modern Jewish calendar doesn't do it this way. I have emailed Rich to ask him for his take on this issue, and when I get a reply I will post it, probably with a community post, because I am really intrigued by this question as it relates to the Feast of Weeks or Shavuot. Is this the way they calculated the Feast of Weeks at the time of the last change of dispensation, when the Holy Spirit fell, the day we refer to as Pentecost? Whatever the case, we will have to wait till next Sunday to find out if the rapture is going to happen then, but it certainly is something to think about. As always, like, comment and subscribe if you feel led, and see you on the other side if the Lord doesn't tarry.